Okay, you guys, I just want to finish up with a few more things today, and then I'll give you a break for a few days. Um, One of the things we just completed doing was labeling all of our traverse lines with bearing and distance, and I just want to show you a few things. Remember, we did this so that the bearing would be shown to the nearest second, and the distance would be shown to the nearest hundredth of a foot. So one thing I wanted to just show you is if you want to move those labels, you certainly can. You can left click on the label, and I call this, Russ Nicolay, a good friend of mine, calls this the football here. And if you grab the football, I went too far there. Let me bring it back. If I grab the football, I can move it along the line to a different location. So that's one thing. I wonder where that went. So anyway, you can move it around. The other thing you can do is you can left click on the label, and I can pull it away from the line, and it will automatically put a leader in there, an arrow to the line. So usually I don't do that. I want my labels right on the line, so I just wanted to show you that. The other thing I can do, if I left click on the label, I've got two commands up here. One is flip label and one is reverse label. And I just wanted to show you what those do. So if I say flip the label, you'll notice that it just puts the bearing on the other side. It just flips the bearing in the distance from one side to the other. If I say reverse label, what it's going to do is it's going to show this southeast bearing as a northwest bearing. So I'm going to just hit reverse. And we all should know by now that, that line, the direction of that line could be labeled, if we're using bearings, as north 11 degrees west or south 11 degrees east. And sometimes people want those labels a certain way. For example, if I was describing a parcel of land, using a meets and bounds legal description, and I was going around the parcel in a clockwise direction, then I would want my labels to match my legal description, for example. So those are a few things about labels. Let me just ask you, let's do a couple new things today, and then let's right-click on point groups, and let's make a new point group today. And so this one we're going to call control points. And what the way I'm going to define the points in this point group is I'm going to go to the Include tab, and I'm going to say with numbers matching. It's a small enough point group. So I'm just going to type in the numbers. They're 8, 9. Everybody started with those 2 points. And then for one group we got 71, 72, 73. And then 81, 82, and 83, right? And then I think there was a point number 84 where one group actually did a side shot, so we'll include that one as well, 84. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back to my information tab, and the basic point style is simply an X. Let's go ahead and change that to this one right here, STA, and that's going to give it a different symbol. Okay, so let's say OK. Now we've got this point group called control points, and we can take a quick look at it. We can right-click on control points, go to properties, go to our point list, and we can see, yeah, there was a control point 84. So there's my list of control points. I'm going to say OK. Notice that 81 does not have an elevation, and the reason for that is because I think by the time we ran our level loop through those points, 81 was no longer there. So I'm going to say OK here. Now what I want to do is I want to go to my Annotate tab right here. And I'm going to click the Annotate tab, and this time I want to make a point table. So I'm going to go this time to Add Tables, and then Add Point Table. And here I'm just going to choose my control point group that we just created. So I'm going to choose, click on this button, choose my control point, say OK. And everything's really going to stay the same, except I am going to, this is point number, northing, easting, elevation, description format. I'm going to click on Edit Current Selection. And right now it says point number, northing, easting, elevation, description. That's exactly the way I want it to be. If they're not in that order, you can kind of drag these columns. Why isn't it letting me do that? But you can move these columns around. I'm not sure why I'm struggling with that. Normally I wanted point number, northing, easting, elevation, and description. I'm going to say OK, OK again, and I can drop that point table into my drawing. And that's all the coordinates and elevations of my control points. Okay, I think I'm going to have to start dealing with some other classes, so see if you guys can do all those things. I'll talk to you soon.